now put the focus on Centrum Broking's latest report on dividend-focused investment bets. PSUs have traditionally been high dividend payers, and Centrum feels that they could be a solid bet for regular inflows, especially in a volatile market like this. To really discuss this in detail and get some stock picks as far as dividend plays go and understand the rationale behind them, we're now joined by Jagannadham Thunuguntla, Head of Wealth Research at Centrum Broking. Jagannadham, thanks very much for joining in. Good to have you on. First off, just quickly before we get to your stock picks, just help us understand the rationale behind going for a dividend play, especially in a market like this. Where does it really come in if you compare it to the sort of returns that you'd see from an FD as well?
Generally in the fourth quarter of financial year is a very good time to focus on dividends because one is the markets are any which way under heavy weather, and also there is always a risk of wealth erosion in this kind of market. So it's very sensible for investors to build up the portfolios with some of these special situations like dividends, so that wealth preservation can take place. And moreover, fourth quarter traditionally has been high dividend paying quarter because PSUs, public sector undertakings, eventually end up giving special dividends in the fourth quarter to help the government in building up their fiscal deficit gap. So because by the time of fourth quarter comes, the government will more or less knows what kind of fiscal deficit they will be looking at considering the tax collections. So that's why the fourth quarter becomes important. That's why in the mid-February we have come out with a 10 stock list with where there is a high possibility of a good amount of dividend, and as per our line of expectation in February and March, about 6 of them have already given the special dividends, and Coal India has lined up their board meeting today, and let us hope they will also surprise with a good amount of dividend. And as we speak, we are anticipating 20 rupees dividend in today's board meeting, because in the last financial year also they have announced 19 rupee 90 paisa, so we are anticipating a dividend again in the same lines, and also there is a chance that Coal India may surprise us by giving dividend more than 20 rupees also.
Right. In fact, Jagannadham, let's talk about Coal India then. That's top of the list, and like you said, we're expecting the dividend announcement from this company as well. The concern here is that while it might be an excellent dividend play, 6.5% I think is what your report says for a Coal India, how strong is it fundamentally as a stock? Because if you look at the last year, it really hasn't gone anywhere as such.
Yeah, every stock has its own way of approach, right? So every stock need not become the multi-bagger. It's good to have some stocks in your portfolio who are good dividend payers. Coal India definitely qualifies it for the reason, because as we speak, a stock of 300 rupees and giving a 20 rupee dividend, 6.5% dividend yield, spare a thought, that is more than your bank FD returns. And in the case of fixed deposit returns, that is bank FDs, you have to pay tax also. In the case of dividend, it is a tax free dividend income. So I think these stocks should not be ignored simply because of the fact that the stock price is not moving anywhere. So it is not a wealth creator or a multi-bagger kind of idea, but it's a very healthy dividend payer. And also this year with the anticipation that Coal India may surprise with higher dividend is because of two reasons. One is the RBI has given about 35,000 crores less dividend this year on the back of the demonetization stress. So the government has to fill it from one place or other, and also there is a shortfall on the GST collections. So all in all put together, there is a chance that Coal India may surprise with slightly higher dividend. 20 rupees is a given, and let's see if they can surprise on the higher side.
Absolutely. So definitely expecting a strong dividend play as far as that Coal India goes. Just go through a few of your other picks. You have an ILNFS investment, NMDC, PFC, REC, SJVN as well. Now, if you look at an SJVN, it's in the power generation space. Is there anything fundamentally that you can really help us understand the rationale behind this one as a stock pick for you?
Post our mid-February report, 6 of them have already announced the dividends. Some of them are PFC, REC, SJVN, NTPC, NMDC and ONGC. So in those 6 cases, we have already got our special dividend equation right. And other stocks where probably one can look forward is NMDC. Island FS Investmart is probably the only one exceptional name from the private sector. It is not a PSU theme per se, but traditionally if we look at last 2-3 years, they have been very healthy dividend payers, and the stock price got stuck around 20 rupees and they give around 1 rupee 60 paisa or so dividend. So that works out to a very healthy 8% dividend yield. So for some of the people who are looking for those portfolio creation without too much of capital appreciation anticipation, these are as good themes as it can get.
All right, so these are some good ideas as far as dividend plays go, especially as we go into as we are in the fourth quarter, and of course with the kind of volatility that we're seeing in the market. Jagannadham, we leave it at that. Thanks so much for running us through those ideas. But with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Trending Today. Thank you so much for watching.